The first movie of my DC Shared Universe Phase 3 is Batman. In this movie, Batman goes on an adventure as usual in his city of Gotham, and the main villain is a villain that we never get to see on film, or never had seen on film, Clayface. In this story, Clayface is on the loose, and Batman has to figure out how to stop him. And that's the whole plot of the movie. And at some point, Clayface even transforms into some of Batman's allies to throw him off his case. But Batman's too smart for it, isn't he? So he knows Clayface's secret, so he can see through his disguises. And at the end of the movie, we see Batman taking Clayface to Arkham. And the tease of the arrival of another villain that we haven't seen in live action, unless you count Gotham, Azrael. And the way they tease Azrael at the end of the movie is Batman scours Arkham, and he sees a figure on the roof, and he looks close, and it's a medieval dressed person. Batman goes, "Who are you?" And the figure looms forward, and he wears the classic red and white outfit. You all know it, comic book fans. And he says, "My name is Azrael." And that's the end of the movie. And in the post-credit scene, Bruce Wayne goes to a charity event at a circus, and you can see through his eyes, in a reflection in the shadows, that a rope breaks, and he hears screaming, and Bruce Wayne races. Because guess what Bruce Wayne was watching? The Flying Graysons. And that's the end of this first movie in this Phase 3 DCEU. The next movie in this Phase 3 is The Flash. The fastest man alive, The Flash. And the main villain of this movie is Gorilla Grodd. The story goes, Barry Allen races through the city, and he hears a commotion, and then runs towards the commotion to see civilians being attacked by a giant gorilla, as we all know is Gorilla Grodd. Barry races up to Gorilla Grodd, saves the civilian, and beats Gorilla Grodd. But Gorilla Grodd winks at him, saying, "Barry, you thought I was so dumb, didn't you? Well, that's not true, because I brought an ally." And he waves his finger in a come here motion. And before Flash could even react, he gets shoulder charged by the Reverse Flash. And Reverse Flash declaims that he's back, and Barry to watch out. And at the end of this movie, there'll be an arrival, tease to another villain, King Shark, which will be the first time we ever get to see King Shark in this shared universe. Which I think will be pretty cool. Now, the way the tease will go is Flash racing, but you don't get to see the Flash. You only get to see the red lightning. But as the camera pans towards the river, the ocean, all you see is a figure coming out of the water, a mutated shark. And that is the end of the movie. And in the post-credit scene, Flash stops in front of Wayne Manor, knocks on the door to be answered by Alfred. And Flash, still in his suit, says, "I need to talk to Bruce." And that is the way this movie ends. The third movie in this Phase 3 shared universe is another Superman movie. In this movie, Superman flies in the city. He is relaxed after the fight against Darkseid in the previous Justice League movie, but not easy, because he knows that even though Darkseid is trapped in Apocalypse, Darkseid will find a way to build another boom tube and return to Earth. So Superman is always vigilant. He may act relaxed, but he's always vigilant. And while Superman is flying, he sees a flying spaceship in the shape of an octopus. And he goes, "What on Earth is this contraption?" And then, as he's saying that, he flies up to the machine. The machine goes, "Superman, son of Jor-El. My name is Brainiac, and I have come to Earth to destroy humans." And Superman goes, "Not on my watch." And then they fight. And they fight until the end of the movie. In the end of the movie, they tease a villain that we never get to see in live action. Unless you count Smallville. His name is Martello. The way they tease it at the end of the movie is a pile of rubbish is left in the dump, and all you see is like a hand moving, and Lex helps his hand out, and it's a man. So Lex Luthor takes him to the lab, puts him on a bench. He goes, "You seem to have injuries. Let me fix you." And then Lex Luthor says, "How do you feel about being called Martello?" And that is the end of the movie. And in the post-credit scene, there will be a tease to another villain called Black Adam. And that is the end of this Superman movie. The next movie in this shared universe will be another Aquaman movie. And the main villain of this film will be Ocean Master. And at the end of the movie, after the big battle between getting carried away. During the film, Aquaman gets into a fight with Atlantis. He didn't agree with the way they were ruling, and he wanted to be king. But the only one eligible for the throne, other than Aquaman himself, was Ocean Master, and he was not happy. So he went to the surface world to have a breath of fresh air. And he runs into Bruce Wayne while he's at the pub near the river. Aquaman talks to Bruce, saying, Are you guys alright from the battle against Darkseid?" Bruce goes, "We're handling it. Why don't you go back to Ocean and look after your kingdom?" Aquaman looks not happy and goes, "They don't need me. They chose my brother, another guy, to be king, not me." Because at this stage, Aquaman does not know that Ocean Master is actually his brother. Aquaman goes to Bruce saying, "Hope Darkseid is trapped." And Bruce goes, "My radars are saying that he is. There's no threat coming to this planet. Don't you worry your little fishtail about it." Aquaman laughs, going, "Fishtail, nice one, Bruce," as he rolls his eyes and walks out. And as Aquaman walks out, he sees bubbles rising in the water. Aquaman stands guard, and it turns out to be a big whale. And on top of that whale is Ocean Master. Ocean Master claims that he has taken over and control of all ocean creatures. And Aquaman, you are not welcome to Atlantis anymore. Aquaman says, you don't have the right to ban me from my own kingdom. Even though I may not be king, my mother was queen, so you gotta take it up with her. Ocean Master goes, your mother may be queen, but she's not around anymore, isn't she? That does it. Aquaman makes a wave of water, gushes at it to Ocean Master. Ocean Master says, really? You're gonna let kids playtime in this fight by wetting me? I live in water, you bonehead. That sets Aquaman off. He makes another wave, but this time he jumps on top of it, jumps off the wave, and starts a fight with Ocean Master. And now we're at the part of the movie where I did a fast forward before by saying they had a big battle. And during the battle, Aquaman hears Mera shouting. He looks behind him to see Mera fighting off another one of Ocean Master's henchmen. Aquaman tries to intervene by helping his wife, but Ocean Master is too strong and fast, and he catches Aquaman by the hair, throws him back, and as before, he kills him. They hear a booming voice saying, leave him alone. Aquaman turns, and it turns out to be his master, who taught him everything about the water and the ways of the ocean. He walks up to Aquaman and says to him and Ocean Master to stop this fight. And he reveals that Ocean Master is in fact Aquaman's long-lost brother. Aquaman was shocked, having this secret kept away from him for years. So, Aquaman, not a lethal strike, but whacks him that hard to Ocean Master that he knocks him out and then swims off. Mera, knowing that Arthur is upset, Arthur is the other word name for Aquaman, if you're wondering, swims off to see how he is. And that's the end of the movie. And the post-credit scene, we see another tease to King Shark, as King Shark looks from a distance to see Aquaman and Mera, without them even noticing, swim past. The way King Shark's looking is you see a shark-like reflection of the walls of Atlantis. And that's the end of this movie. The next movie in this stage 3 of my DCEU is Green Arrow. In this movie, Green Arrow, at this point Oliver Queen is having dinner with a few friends, and then suddenly hears an explosion. Then he says, sorry, I have to go to the bathroom, and then runs off before they could even react. And while Oliver Queen is gone, Deathstroke comes in, because he's the main villain, by the way, and Deathstroke takes away one of his friends, who turns out to be Felicity Smoke. Sorry. And then Oliver Queen returns, but in his full green outfit, and looks around and sees a broken window and John Diggle looking scared. Green Arrow, at this point, walks up to John Diggle and goes, "What's happened?" John Giggle, which was another one of his friends who was having dinner with him, says, "I don't know how to say this, Oliver, but Deathstroke has taken away Felicity Smoke. You can see the look on Oliver's face. The shock of knowing that his old enemy is back. His old enemy being Deathstroke. Oliver says, "Oh man, Deathstroke's back? I used to fight him on the EMU when I was trapped on that island, remember?" John Diggle nods and says, "Do what you need to do, Oliver. I'll call the police or whatever, or hide." Oliver, knowing that the police would just cause trouble, says to John Diggle just to hide. "Go safely back home and hide." John Diggle nods his head and walks away. Green Arrow jumps on the window and then shoots a grappling arrow to another building and then swings off. In the next scene, we see a full-on fight between Oliver Queen as he arrives to Deathstroke's lair and having a fight with Deathstroke. Deathstroke is shocked, saying, "Oh, you quickly found me. You must be smart." And he looks around and sees Felicity Smoke hanging from a rope. But below her is a water tank full of sharks. Very stereotypical master villain trick it is. Even Oliver Queen jokes, saying, "This is very 90s of you, Deathstroke." Deathstroke laughs, saying, "You never beat a classic," in a dark and menacing tone. And then they start fighting. Arrow versus sword. Guns versus arrow. But Green Arrow, dodges them all. And Deathstroke gets a swift kick to the face and knocks out Green Arrow, aims his bow and arrow towards the string and cuts the rope. And as he sees Felicity's falling, Green Arrow does a flippity flip and catches her just in time. And that's the end of the movie. And then the post-credit scene, we see an alleyway, and Batman is looking over. Beside him is Oliver Queen. And they go, "Any new people going around?" And then Batman goes, "Yes, I'm looking at one now. Look down there. Can you see that blonde-haired bloke with the trench coat? Yeah, he's lighting up a cigarette. Do you know who he is?" Batman goes, "Yes, he's a demonologist named John Constantine." And that teases the arrival of the master of dark magic, John Constantine. The next movie in this stays is another Green Lantern movie, but the difference is it's not a John Stewart centered story, it's a Hal Jordan centered story. And in case she gets confused, it's a prequel to the other Green Lantern movie, the first one. In this story, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern, trains a young John Stewart leading up to the event of the second and third film, which is 1 and 2 in chronological order. And this its main villain is Parallax. And Parallax invades Oa. Sort of like that 2011 Green Lantern movie, which everyone tries to forget. Sorry in advance for mentioning it. I know it's bad, but I liked watching it. And back to the story. Hal Jordan, flying in space, shooting his ring at Parallax. And willpower versus fear. the Guardians look over and see a fight between Yellow and Green. The Guardians go, "Go, Hal Jordan, go." As they're chanting, Hal Jordan fights off Parallax. Parallax disappears. Not defeated, just disappears. And Hal Jordan looks around, makes sure everything's safe. Then hears one of the Guardians say, "An Earthling has got a ring." So Hal Jordan flies down and talks to the Guardians after hearing that an Earthling has got a ring. He asks who has got the ring, and the Guardians say that a man known as John Stewart has picked up the ring of a dying lantern, and they want you, Hal Jordan, to train him. Hal Jordan goes, It'll be an honor. It'd be an honor to train this young man to become my successor and become the next Green Lantern." And sure up behind him, tapping him on the shoulder, is Kilowog. Because Kilowog trained Green Lantern, Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. And John Kilowog says, just like in the movie, "Can I train him or can I trade him?" Hal Jordan laughs at the callback, saying, "Yes, you can, Kilowog," and then flies off. And that's the end of the movie. Then in the post-credit scene, we see a young John Stewart wearing the ring and goes, "How on earth am I supposed to use this?" And then, as he tries to work it out, he hears someone talking behind him. And the person who's revealed to be John Stewart says, "I have been sent from the Guardians of Oa to train you in becoming the next Green Lantern." And that will be the post-credit scene for this movie. The next movie of this Phase 3 shared universe will be a movie that we haven't seen yet, called The Trinity. And it'll be Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. And the main villain will be Doomsday. And the story goes, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman are in the Watchtower and looking over surveillance on Earth, and they see Lex Luthor has created a weapon of mass destruction. So Superman calling Wonder Woman and Batman to Earth and then saying, "We need to stop Lex Luthor." And they arrive to Earth, and Lex Luthor is there waiting for them with an evil grin, saying, "Haha, you heard about my little weapon, didn't you, Superman? Obviously you did, because you wouldn't be here. Let me introduce you to him now. His name is Doomsday." Superman looks at this monstrosity creature and goes, "Let the fight begin." And then they have a big battle. And then Superman standing tall over Doomsday. Batman on the center side. Wonder Woman on the side as well, looking down on Doomsday. Lex Luthor looks shocked as Superman looks up at him saying, "Is this the best you can do? This weapon?" As Superman scoffs, "This weapon is a mere not weapon." So Superman flies off. Wonder Woman and Batman are left there to fight off Lex Luthor. Now this movie, there'll be a tease to Solomon Grundy. The way the tease will go is Batman is on a mission, and he sees a hand and a body out of a grave. Batman looks at it with mysterious suspicion, And the creature goes, Grundy, me wake, Grundy, see, Batman. Batman, knowing that the creature couldn't even known that he was Batman, was shocked and took a fighting stance. And that's the end of the movie. And then the post-credit scene. Batman is back in Gotham, but he has a new ally named Robin. And the post-credit scene goes, there's a bat signal in the background, and we see two figures standing there. As they get close, Batman whips out his grappling gun, and so does Robin. They swing off into the city as the bat signal is shining behind them. And that's the end of this movie of Phase 3, ending Phase 3. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon for more notifications. And please like this video, because it will really help out a lot. Thank you.